The best part, or rather not so best part of being here is that this is the last session of the conference, but the saving grace is that it's not after lunch, right? So it could have been worse. So I'm very happy that you guys have not had lunch yet. So you will all be patient, and then we will wrap up and we'll get going. But I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks to HEDNA. We are a brand that is now pretty well known in Asia, and now we're expanding across the globe. So I would love to share what we are doing, our story. Let me start by sharing that we are a technology company first, and you will see that reflect in everything that I talk about. However, that said, we are also a hotel chain, and we take pride in bringing these two diverse offline to online capabilities together. So we are, in a way, we are a technology company that happens to be in hospitality. So I will take a few minutes to walk you through what we do, who we are, also give you some sense of our scale, some sense of capabilities, and then we will pause for a question-answer session for the last 10 minutes. So let me get going. Our mission is to basically create quality living spaces. But while doing that, we want to fundamentally alter the existing equilibrium at every micro location between the three most important parameters for customers, which is the location, quality, and price. We believe there is a tremendous opportunity to leverage technology and to leverage technology in capabilities which are not unique for the hospitality function, but they render unique attributes to the business which can fundamentally change this equilibrium, which means at the same location, you can potentially get a better quality at a lower price. And that is at the heart of what our mission is. Everywhere where we launch, our success is defined by achieving a better equilibrium for the customer than what existed in the past. We have a small video to give you a sense of what we do and what we stand for. Let me see if this works well. Oops. I think we may need to go and play from the browser. Is that possible? Just need to click on the screen somewhere. Just a brief introduction, but I would love to share more with you in terms of what we really do. These are 5 core capabilities, and I will talk about how technology is basically driving these core capabilities for us. Supply acquisition, this is basically hotels. So let me talk about this by giving you a very brief statistic, which to me at least, even having been part of this industry for quite a while now, is pretty staggering. If you look at all the hotel rooms across the globe, 90% plus hotel rooms across the globe are part of physical assets which are 100 rooms or smaller in size. And that is, to me, initially was very counterintuitive because we are all trained to look at the large hotels, large buildings, and associate with them as the places that we usually stay in. These fragmented hotels face a lot of problems, and that is where our technology-driven business solution comes in. So we are able to use a mobile app, map all the data science into it, and allow our feet-on-street business development managers to actually enter into contracts with these hoteliers within 3 to 5 meetings, allowing us to move really fast in terms of contracting process. Then comes a very core offline capability. We have a team of about 1,200 civil engineers, interior designers, space designers, who are able to go down to every hotel, map the space, work with the design house, convert the design into a new rendition, and go out and project manage and execute the design, basically bringing up to OYO standards and executing an OYO brand inside the hotel. Then we have a very strong capability where we bring all the auditing capabilities across the globe. So it's not just about how do you get the hotels ready the first time. It's also critical in hospitality. All the hoteliers will relate to this. Keeping it right is actually more important and more difficult than getting it right the first time. For keeping it right, once the hotel is up and running, we use sophisticated audit algorithms, which basically translate into simple audit apps, which our auditors on the ground, moving on bikes or in cars, are able to use to audit multiple hotels at the same time. We are a technology company. Technology is a very important stack for us. We use our own homegrown technology, whether it is the hotel front desk, the inventory management systems, the distribution systems, the repair and maintenance software, the channel manager. Everything is deep stack, internally homegrown, customized for the smaller hotels. So we understand the pains of the small hotels, and we custom built everything which is mobile and easy to use for the small hotelier. And finally, distribution. We are also a distribution company. In India, we distribute on a daily basis OYO's rooms on OYO's app, but we distribute more rooms in India through our app than the 2 largest OTAs in India put together. And that happens because we are a technology company. We understand consumer products as well as the back-end enterprise products that we build for our customers. And this is where the 2 offline to online capabilities really come together as part of our business model. The capabilities are great, but what do they really lead to? What is the outcome? The special part, what we believe about our capabilities, is the ability to move fast, ability to execute at speed and execute at massive scale across the globe. How does that manifest itself? This is the story of the last 13 months. March 2018, we were 73,000 rooms, primarily India and China. Malaysia was a small component. April 2019, we are 600,000 rooms plus across more than 24 countries, 800 plus cities. We have more than 18,000 hotels across the globe. And at this point of time, as we speak, we have the capability and the team ranging from a team of more than 1,000 people who are business development folks, feet on street, 1,200 who are the transformation team, which is basically the infrastructure upgrade team, designers, civil engineers. We have a team of more than 1,000 engineers. These are the developers who are writing algorithms, building products, improving products for OYO. And you combine this, and you get a capability which allows you to scale really fast across the globe. Today, as we speak, we are South Asia's largest hotel chain. This is where we were end of 2018, but our aspiration is to become world's largest chain of hotels very soon. And for that aspiration, we are looking at aggressively expanding across the globe. We have presence in 18 countries, as we were talking about. We are growing fast in each of these countries. For us, it is about, like a hotel chain, building deep stack capabilities in every country that we go to. So you have to invest in building a lot of these capabilities. You have to invest in localizing. You have to invest in building local teams, therefore, and local engineering talent, local transformation talent. That is what is the toughest part. And that engine, once it's up and running, it can lead to magical results. Well, this was the most important part. That was a brief overview. Let me also talk briefly about what do we really mean by technology. You know, everyone is doing this. There are a lot of hotel chains across the world. What's so unique, what's so special about what we do? So I will use 3 examples and very quickly illustrate what is special about what we do and how does that fit into our own business model. We have multiple stacks, consumer-oriented for our hotel owners and for our back-end operations. I briefly mentioned about this. This is one of the most powerful technology that we have built. This is, internally we call it Orbis. It's a mobile app which my business development people use, and based on the lat long that you can enter for any specific asset across all the cities that we operate in, across the 800 plus cities that we operate in, and based on the type of deals, or rather based on the commercial plan that I have for each one of those countries, my app basically directs our business development team in terms of what are the type of offers they can place on the table for the hotelier. It gives them a control and a guidance in terms of the investment we can make, in terms of the uplift of revenue that we can forecast. That allows our last mile business development folks to move really fast and make decisions without the back and forth that is usual part of the process in signing any hotel for any other franchising company across the globe, which enables them to sign deals in as less as few as 3 meetings. And they can see completely how those deals are performing also over time. So it's all controlled centrally using data science. So we are able to pull in all our expertise, and we are able to pull in understanding of each local market to basically predict what type of investment we are ready to make, what type of uplift we are going to see, and therefore put our stakes down in the ground in terms of offering a deal. This is the second piece, which we are super excited about what we are building. This will be perhaps one of the most advanced image scoring algorithms that you will see across the globe. I will just simplify this slide and I will share with you what this basically does. As an outcome, in most hotel chains, the design of any room or any reception or any facade, the decision rests with the brand team or with the interior design team. In our company, the brand team and interior design team, they can submit many designs, but the decision of what the hotel room will look like at the end of the day is taken by the data science team. The data science team is able to take any rendition of a design, take the CapEx, which will be needed to convert room from X to Y, is then able to render this into real photograph in front of the consumer, and then is able to do a lot of tests by removing components of the design and adding new components to the design to figure out what is the optimum investment of CapEx, which will lead to highest conversion, highest clicks from customer online when they actually see a photograph. Because at the end of the day, what we have realized, all the bookings do happen online. The conversion is all online. So how do you feel about a design offline should be a secondary consideration. The primary consideration is how does that design really lead to conversion online? And this, we can do this because we control everything end to end. And we can do this, the algorithms keep becoming smarter because we move at the scale which allows our algorithms to become smart. There's some examples here, but this is another piece of technology which we believe is very simple, but driven by AI and pretty smart in what it is able to do. This is our OYO captains. In all of the 800 plus cities that we operate in, our operations team is a mobile team on the ground. They move around the city, across the city. They have an app. Think about this as an Uber app. Every day in the morning, they don't have a schedule. Every day in the morning, they get up, they fire the app, and the app tells them what to do today. App is able to pull up inputs from the customer feedback. It pulls up data from the predictive maintenance schedules. It pulls up data from everything that you can imagine from an audit perspective or from a training perspective, and in a smart way, basically tell them exactly what to do, what's important today. There are some magical advantages to this. You can also ascribe, because you are tying up feedback of every customer to every room, you can also ascribe scores to the auditors. So if an auditor goes and does audit of a hotel and confirms that I audited these 10 rooms, and if the next day you receive a complaint from a customer saying that my TV was not working, then the auditor's score actually reduces. You know, you're not such a good auditor. So why this is important is because it completes the loop. It completes the loop and enables us again to operate at scale and to operate with speed. That is not possible if you're not a technology company. You cannot do this. Without technology, you cannot be opening more than 50,000 rooms across the globe every month. This is another example. We have a housekeeping app. It's very simple. It's again AI-based, but it's a workflow app where in our hotels, based on the checkout that happens at the front desk, all the housekeeping staff on their phones, on their app, the room is available, so they can pick and say that I will clean the room. The timer starts, 40 minutes, you have to clean the room. The more rooms you clean, the more you get paid, so it's incentivized for higher performance, higher delivery. And again, it's linked to the feedbacks. If you clean the room and from that room there is a complaint, your score gets impacted. It's technology like this I want to share that basically enables more control, helps standalone hotel operators become better in what they do every day, solves a lot of their problems related to control, related to the rigor and discipline that you need in a hospitality operations, and again allows you to operate at scale. Very quickly, we are a hotel company first, but we are also into long stays. OYO Life is our long stays brand. We are into vacation rentals. OYO Home is our vacation rentals brand. We are into resorts. And yes, this journey has just started. We are a 5.5-year-old company. We have about 18,000 people across the globe, so we have a lot going on, but we are very excited to share our story with new geographies. We are primarily in India and China, but we are growing aggressively across the globe in Southeast Asia, in Latin America, in Europe, and in the US as well. So thank you again for this opportunity. Lovely speaking to you all. Thank you.
This is amazing. I can't wait to ask you questions, and I have so many of them. First of all, I'm undusting my CV right now because I think I want to work for OYO rooms. But seriously, I'm sure a few of you are considering, wow, I want to be part of this amazing growth story. What competencies, who are you looking for when you're recruiting your team?
I don't think I have my HR team here, but it's a great question, Sebastian. The advantage for us is that we are a very classic offline to online company. And as an example, think about an Amazon, the type of roles that they get to recruit for. The breadth is just staggering, right? You run warehouses, you also build your own consumer-facing technology. So similarly for us, we have the privilege of having a lot of different skill sets under the same roof. So if you're really good in architecture and designing and sort of bringing in low-cost design to existing brownfield assets, then we love such people, and they are part of the leadership in our transformation team. If you're part of great design online, if you're a great UI UX expert, then of course you're part of our consumer app team. But if you have done both, if there is a person who was an architect and has done design of physical spaces in the past, but has moved on and now is building UI UX products on the app in native environments, Android or iOS, that is gold for us, right? So the advantage for us is we have a vast spectrum of roles. But from a leadership perspective, senior leaders, we believe in getting in senior leaders who have the hunger and the flexibility, and the flexibility mostly to learn and the hunger to learn new business models. We believe we are still in a place where we don't know much about the hospitality industry, quite honestly. We are still learning every day. So one of the key attributes of leadership for us is to basically execute at scale, but stay humble and keep learning, because we truly believe in 3 years down the line, we'll be very different and much more mature and with a lot more capabilities than what we have today.
Excellent, excellent. Do you have properties in Madrid? Here in Madrid?
Not yet. We have a team here, so we are in the pre-launch stage, working on the market, yes.
I'm curious right now, like how many properties are you opening per day? Do you have that number?
We, across the globe, all geographies, we would be opening about 1 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me calculate this quickly. I think this is 24 per day. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a bit late in the day, but I think we got that. A lot of it has to do with technology, and you mentioned that in your address. We've had some amazing keynote speakers over the last sort of 2 days. One was Daniel Hulme on artificial intelligence, and you showed us an example of scoring the pictures, the imagery. Can you give me other examples where you're using algorithms or smart deep learning techniques to make your own teams more efficient?
Yes, sure. So starting off with, for us contracting any hotel, the pace at which we are moving, you can only move at that pace and have negotiation and decisions, contractual decisions across the table, when you know really well in terms of what's your capability, what's going to happen with this hotel once it becomes an OYO. So we have deep stack algorithms which pull in a lot of data around the neighborhood, around the content available of this hotel, around the infrastructure, around the amenities, link it with the potential CapEx investments that we can make, and are able to predict what type of revenues do we see in the future. And that forms the base of our contractual algorithms in terms of how we try to enter into contracts with hotels. And these are all, of course, you understand these are long-term contracts, but most fascinatingly, because you can predict that, you enter into the discussions with a lot more confidence, and you enter into the discussions with a lot more unique ways of making it work, because out of you have a high confidence of what the end state might look like. So this is one example. The other example is, of course, pricing algorithms across the globe. So we have, in hotels, if you see, imagine there are large hotels and professional hotels, but imagine if 90% plus of the hotel inventory is part of hotels' assets which are 100 rooms or smaller in size. A lot of these are independents today. Of this, more than 90% is completely independent, run by independent hoteliers who do not have access to all the science and all the technology that we take for granted today. So getting in and bringing very strong pricing algorithms to every hotel that exists on our platform is a very core capability that we bring to the table. We are a unique chain because if you are an OYO, pricing is controlled by OYO. And that, we believe, is a very important value add that we bring to the whole ecosystem.
Fully revenue managed, I assume?
Fully revenue managed, that's right.
That's impressive.
That's right.
Now, some of the hoteliers in this room would like to use your technology potentially and say, can I buy the software? Can I buy the technology? Can I use it? Would you ever consider it, or is this for you your competitive advantage?
It's, see, you are in business, so you never say never, but that's not our core business. Our core business, we are a hotelier. We have now stumbled upon a massive opportunity, and this opportunity extends beyond hotels. So at this point of time, we are busy customizing our technology for vacation rentals, for long stays, and there's a lot to do there. And there is definitely, we keep learning from senior business people and folks who have built businesses and built large companies. And the single important thing which you keep listening to is that focus is very important. So for us, it's more about that. You never say never, but at this point of time, focus is very important. We have a massive opportunity in front of us, so unlocking that is our first and most important prerogative.
Fantastic, fantastic. You mentioned that you're selling more rooms direct in India than the two largest online travel agencies in India. How much is, I don't know, Booking.com and Expedia, an online travel agency, contributing to your current, I guess, business mix, if you can share that? And, are you relying on them at all, or is most of your business direct?
It varies by geography. And of course, I can answer for India and the rest of the markets. We don't. We are just entering into these markets, maybe outside China, and it's too early. But in India, we distribute almost 90% of all the rooms that we have. We have about 200,000 rooms in India, and 90% plus of the distribution is direct. And of course, it also let me also remind the audience that India is a geography where Booking and Expedia are not the number one OTAs in the market. So we are very good friends with all the OTAs, and we work with them very closely to work with them across all geographies, including India. India just has a unique setup where you did not have enough supply opportunity in the economy and mid-economy segment. So we are benefiting from this aspect of creating supply in the economy and mid-economy segment.
Excellent, excellent. So we saw your growth curve. By when are you the biggest? Because you're building an empire. At least one of the snippets said that you're building an empire. By when are you the biggest hotel chain?
Let me start by answering that it will be, of course, it will be a milestone in the journey, but still that's not something that we are very fixated upon. It's absolutely nice to be able to convey the scale and convey sort of the mission and the speed with which we are moving. But let me start by saying that that is not the be-all and end-all of what we are trying to accomplish. But we believe inside the next 2 to 3 years, we should be there.
Excellent, excellent. Great. You're heading out from here back home. That's your next trip. Where are you going from here?
I'm flying back to Delhi, which is, I'm sort of, I live in San Francisco as well as in Delhi, so from one home to another.
And do you always have to stay in an OYO hotel when you travel, or?
Yes.
I was going to ask you what's your favorite hotel brand, but I'm sure it was going to be OYO.
Yeah, that was a trick question. So, I do always travel and stay in OYOs. The advantage also is, let me just wrap up with this, that if you think about this, small hotels and multiple small hotels automatically have an advantage because they are always at the right location. You will find them everywhere. So in India, for example, in the city of Delhi, OYO has about 550 hotels. So you pretty much have a hotel, you throw a stone and it will end up on a OYO hotel. So the biggest convenience for any traveler today is location. So you always, starting from that, and there are a lot of other benefits, but you start there, and if you are a person pressed for time, you pretty much end up choosing an OYO everywhere.
Let me ask a simpler question. Where did you spend your last vacation? What city? Or did you have a vacation in the last 3 years?
I did. I've been building OYO for 5.5 years with Ritesh, and my founder, I will just give a small detour. My founder is 25, so he has been building OYO since 19. So he doesn't take vacations, but I'm older. I need some break once in a while. So now, very recently, I was in Jaisalmer. I spent a weekend in Jaisalmer, India, Rajasthan.
Excellent. We do have some questions from the audience, and there's one particular that I think that we need to explain because it refers to your business model a little bit. And the question came here, I was like, who owns the properties, the hotels? Can you walk us a little bit around your business model, how it operates, and maybe answer that question if you
Sure. I think it's a very important question. So we do not own any assets. especially if you're moving this fast, you cannot be taking equity in the assets. We don't own assets. We do lease and operate about, I would say about 15% of our assets. And the majority is a franchising model.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Abhinav, I know you're heading to your team. I'm so happy that you had time to join us here today. Thank you very much on behalf of HEDNA for joining us in Madrid, and safe travels to India.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thanks to Edna. Thank you all.